Alright guys, we are working outside today because it is beautiful. Here we have a 2000 something or other. Double check we have a 2004 EZGO TXT 36 volt electric cart. This one here we got a call because it was not moving when I stepped on the pedal. Actually, it wasn't doing anything. So just to save a little bit of time, I went ahead and hooked up my load meter to the batteries, each one, and they are all dead. And then I hooked it up to the pack, and we are only getting 4 volts. So basically the golf cart's dead. I hope you can hear me with the wind. But what we're going to try to do is I'm going to put the battery charger on. I'm going to set it up for 18 volts, and we're going to charge 3 at a time and see what happens, and then hopefully it'll bring it back. I doubt it, but the first thing I want to do is check the water level, so let's do that. Lift our caps off. Looks like the water level's okay so far. Let's see there. If we have a bone dry battery, then we know it probably froze. See, they just put these batteries in a couple of years ago. So far so good, and we'll top it off after we charge it. We don't want to do it now because it'll just boil a lot of it out. Okay, so the battery level is good as far as the water goes. I have to clean these terminals here. We're gonna start here, and we'll go here. Not even lighting up my meter. So yeah, the entire pack's dead. There's our negative. I'm going to do the entire pack here. Ready? 2 3/4 volts. So this pack is dead. Some of these batteries are actually reverse polarity. So you got this one here. See how the needle goes backwards? It's actually reverse polarity. It's polarityed itself. This one's doing the same thing. Not so much, but hey, this one's doing it too. Reverse polarity. So we will give this one a quick charge and see what happens. We're going to do one pack. We're going to give it about 2 1/4 hours, 2 hours and 15 minutes. On this one here at 18 volts, 40 amps, so at least that's what the rating is on the charger. It's not really 40 amps, but that's what it says. And then we'll do this pack on this side, or this half of the pack. So hurry up and wait for me, and in about 2 seconds for you. So you can see, here's my digital meter. I changed out the old crappy analog one for this one, which is much better. This is designed for like a solar system or whatever, but it works for this. I just like it because it's got the battery range that I need. So here we are, we're off, and we're on 18 volts, 40 amps, or 24 volt 10 amp, 12 volt start. So we're gonna do that to turn it on. Here's our voltage output. Hopefully you can see that. And you can see that there's no amps going out yet. And what'll happen is once the internal resistance of the batteries increases, the voltage will drop and the amperage will go up. We actually we're gonna have to increase our voltage here. Okay, so there you go. Now you see we have 0.3 amps. 0.4. Okay, so the resistance is starting to increase ever so slightly. And if this is monitored and done correctly, you won't hurt your batteries. You just got to know what you're doing, and you can't just walk away and set it and forget it. You have to monitor this. Once we start hitting about the 5-10 amp range, we'll drop down our voltage down to 18. So, alright, instead of me boring you with this kind of stuff, we'll be back. After like 3 days of trying to get these batteries to take a charge and hold it, failed. They were dead too long. They don't want to hold their charge. So I advised the customer of what's going on, so we just decided we're going to change them out. And we're going to change them out for a brand new set of Crown Deep Cycle 6 volt batteries and swap these out and get to it. All right, it's a pretty straightforward process, but I'll show you what I do and how I do it. What you're going to need to do this type of a task is battery lifting straps. Because what you do is you take the battery carrying strap, lifting strap, you put it in, and now you can lift the battery as if it has a handle. Sometimes a nice heavy-duty bungee cord with strong hooks will do the same thing, but I like these straps. They work a lot better. So the first thing you're going to do before you disconnect any battery pack or do any work on any electric golf cart, if it's equipped, tow mode. And then what I'll do is I'll start here, crack all these nuts loose. Crack all the batteries loose on the entire pack. And usually when I'm changing out batteries like this, I will actually save these if they're in good shape, because these are stainless steel. This is good hardware. I know how these batteries are supposed to be installed and connected, so I can disconnect the entire kit, or the entire pack, without worrying about how to hook it back up. So for me, this is not a problem. But if you're not 100% sure, the best thing I can say to do would be to take a picture of your pack's wiring, especially if you have multiple things like this cart does. Like we have some weird wiring kit here for something like a battery meter, and it looks like a 12-volt power outlet, and some aftermarket lighting. But as far as like if you have none of that, then it'll be pretty straightforward for the most part. And if you're even unsure, you could always take a zip tie when you pull all of these ring terminals off and put a zip tie through the hoop, and that will keep these together, and that way you'll know. Put red for positive and black for negative if you like. Put a zip tie through. See how that holds all them hoops together? That also works true if you have to take the pack out and you know it's going to be disconnected for an extended period of time. The negative side is typically just the negative battery terminal, the negative charger, and then usually a volt meter, a state of charge meter of some sort. Unless you have a light kit that utilizes a voltage reducer that utilizes the entire pack, then you're not going to have really much else on here. Most people will use in a 6-volt arrangement like this, two batteries, any two batteries that are, you know, in series with each other for your lights and other accessories. I don't advise doing that because you're draining more juice from the two batteries that you have selected versus equally distributing it across the entire pack. In the long run, it's really much better for your battery pack to do that instead of kind of like cutting corners and only using two batteries. Okay, we'll lift out our battery hold down. One thing I like about EZGO's battery hold downs, it's one bracket, two rods, and two nuts. Simple, very, very simple. All right, we're disconnected. Wires are out of the way. Let's start lifting the batteries out. And again, if you're not sure the polarity and which way they go in to wire it properly, take a picture with your smartphone if you have one. It will save a lot of trouble in the end, especially if you're not sure. Now we'll take the rods out of the way. Ooh, it's stuck. Now I'll typically take a flathead screwdriver just to, or a putty knife, or any metal. Don't breathe this dust in if you can help it. Knock off some of the little hoods. See, they got all that rust there. It's best to get it out. Okay, so the battery cage is a bit rotted, which is not surprising for an electric cart. And then take a brush. This is not a wire brush, this is just a plastic brush, and then just get the chunks off. This way the batteries sit nice and level. Okay, we're ready for new batteries. Camera. Sometimes they're a little trickier to get into place. There we go. Just have to like force them down sometimes. There we go. Okay. So you can see we have this one battery here that is just a little cattywampus. I don't know why it's there. Okay. It's better. It's in there enough to where we can, oops, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to put the rods in. Just fine, just have to lift this front battery. I think for sure this is killer on the back. Okay, there we go. The way to know how this goes in properly is the bottom has perfectly even cross sections where the top has the triangle and it's not symmetrical on the top. And then once you get it close, take your nut, and then as you drive your nut down and you tighten it up, it will settle everything in quite nicely. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove all these packets. And these batteries, you'll notice they have both positive terminals with protective caps. I will leave these stud caps on and only remove the threaded caps because these are the only ones we need. We don't need to use the studs. It's like a dual post setup. Okay, so I'm going to clean these battery cables because they are a little bit gnarly. Alright, so as you can see, we got nice, hopefully you can see, nice clean wires. So now we can start assembling, and it doesn't really matter where you start. Some people will say, oh yeah, you got to start here. No, you don't have to. Doesn't matter. I just start laying the wires on. I don't connect the actual cart electrical system until I'm ready to actually turn the cart on. These terminals were actually on upside down. Well, it doesn't really matter. It's not that it matters which way they go on. You can put them so the shoulder of the cable terminal is the ring terminal per se. So this shoulder is on the bottom side of the connector. I personally don't care. This is just how I usually do it anyway, so it doesn't matter though. As long as the connection's clean, tight, it doesn't really matter. Now when it comes to putting the main terminal on, what I like to do, again, this really isn't that critical that it's done this way, but this is what I like to do. I like to put the battery or the cart electrical and put it on first. And then I like to put the charger on. And then after that, that's when I'll install the accessory. I'll put the accessory stuff on top. Just how I like to do it. It's how I've always done it, and that's how I'll continue to do it. That's that. What I'm going to do now is begin tightening up all of these, because since we're pretty much done with that, I usually can go by feel. Okay, that's good. I'll come back around to that one. This is typically why people put the ring terminal on the bottom of the connector. Like they usually put this side, this part, on the underside so it's against the post and not up like I have it, because it interferes with the wrench sometimes. Makes them look like there was some thought to this getting put together. Oh, that one's no good. Wow, looks like there was a manufacturing defect in some of these zip ties. The ends were chopped off. glove got sucked into that one. The only thing left that I have to do is just put some spray protectant on the terminals, and we're done. I've been using this stuff here, this Max battery terminal protector, for many, many years. And I spray anything, even the big negative post, I'll spray it. And don't forget to spray your hold down nuts and bolts too. That will definitely help, especially help keep them from rusting, if anything, from the corrosion. I don't like breathing this stuff in either. It smells good though. I'm sure it's not good to breathe, but it is what it is. Okay, that's all the battery terminals connected. All of them sprayed down. The hold down bolts are also sprayed. Okay, so here is the finished job. As you can see, there's the pack. You can see how we put the spray protectant on each and every terminal. So alright guys, if you have any questions on this project or any other project, please leave me a question in the comment section. Like the video if you liked it. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. Check out the links in the video's description, where I have links to products that I use every single day to bring you these videos and products that I use to run my business. Don't forget to check out the links to my social media pages and my website, and also my Patreon page. I really appreciate it. And until next time guys, we will see you in the next video.